So let's go. Question 1. So Mark says he's traveling to Peru and he's asking which probiotics he can take to help prepare his stomach to prevent traveler's diarrhea. So just to recap, for some of us who may not have experienced traveler's diarrhea, or maybe slightly unfamiliar with what traveler's diarrhea is, basically, yeah, you get diarrhea. It can be really, really bad. You get bloating, flatulence, so you're farting everywhere, gastritis, so you might have reflux, indigestion. You feel really weak and lethargic as a consequence of the diarrhea. And also in some instances, you may get a temperature, which is super annoying. And traveler's diarrhea can sort of put you out of action for a long time. In some people, it can be days, some people, it can be weeks. So you want to ensure that if you know you're going to an area where you've got traveler's diarrhea, you can, hey Claire, you can start preparing your tummy, and you can start taking the right things to help prevent. And also, I'm going to talk about the treatment as well. So basically, the traveler's diarrhea can be caused by bacteria, parasites, viruses. The main bacteria in question here is E. coli, which is present, especially if you're going to a third world country like Peru. No offense, hey Claire. And so typically you can get it from the foods that you eat. If the foods that you're eating are raw and peeled and washed with the local water, that's including the green leafy vegetables, you may catch it that way. Seafood, notorious as well if you're in a foreign area. Improperly cooked seafood can do that. Street food, if it's not hot enough, you may get it that way as well. Unpasteurized foods, so stuff like milk, especially in third world countries. And of course, drinking local water. Just depends on where you are. All of these things can contribute to traveler's diarrhea. So here's what I'd be recommending. If you're going in a month or if you're going in a couple of weeks, let's start smashing this out. So the first thing I would do is put yourself on a course of really, really good probiotics. So probiotics will help introduce really good bacteria in the gut and sort of provide that ammunition to ward off any of the naughty bugs that you may get when you do suffer from traveler's diarrhea. The next thing I would use is to find a particular probiotic in conjunction with the regular one I just mentioned before. You want to get a probiotic that contains S. boulardii or Saccharomyces boulardii, which is a specific strain of bacteria which you can get from your pharmacy. One that is heat stable, so it's perfect to travel with, and it has sufficient evidence that it can be used to treat traveler's diarrhea. So Saccharomyces boulardii is different from the other probiotics in that it doesn't colonize the gut like your other probiotics do. It doesn't stay in there. Once you stop using Saccharomyces boulardii, it sort of gets out of your system. So, which is why I recommended that you start with taking some probiotics immediately, as soon as you know you're going. And then when you start traveling, I would be recommending you take the Saccharomyces boulardii with you every day. Just take 2 a day. So you probably need about, every preparation different. You want between 500 to 750 milligrams a day as like a preventative thing. But the good thing about Saccharomyces boulardii is if you happen to get the attack, you can use it in a high dose, and you want to use 1500 milligrams a day depending on your preparation. Just work out the dose. You want to go hard on it. Divide that dose into 2 or 3 doses in a day for the next 2 or 3 days, and it will start to help kill off all the naughty bugs and reintroduce all the good bugs back into your system. And Saccharomyces boulardii is really good for settling down those effects of the traveler's diarrhea, mainly the diarrhea and the gastritis and the farting, the flatulence and the bloating. So it works really, really well, and it's not a well-known probiotic. It's heat stable that people can use while you're traveling, and it's one that I would be definitely recommending. So Mark, that's what I would do. So just to recap, get on the probiotics right away, depending on when you're leaving, and go to the pharmacy and also request a particular strain of probiotics called S. boulardii. Take that with you every day, and then when you do get an attack, you can bump the dose up. Everything should be written on the back, but that's strategy I would be using for your probiotics while you're traveling. Easy. Have a good time, Mark. Awesome.